Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today's message is very special because I'm channeling to you Melchizedek. Now, please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with Lead by Example. Group number 2 in the center with Calling in Manifestations, and group number 3 on the right with Lotus Feet. As always, I love you guys and I'm so extremely grateful for you. You guys just make my world go round, and the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box, as well as all the rest of my personal information for readings, personals, Reiki, the books that I've written, and my handy dandy newly released, this is my author copy, that's why it says this, self-guided exploration journal, which is a guided journal so that you can see what is going on inside. There are 131 guided journal prompts in here, and they're just really beautiful. And I just wanted to extend my gratitude to you guys for checking this out. And if you like my readings, please like, comment, and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. But if you want to see more content like this, I post here on YouTube a full pick a card every single Tuesday. I pick a full pick a card on my inner circle. If you click on my profile on YouTube and you click the join button, there you'll have exclusive access to another pick a card reading every single Wednesday. And also in the description box, you will find where I post my pick a cards every single Thursday, my also exclusive Patreon channel. So if you're interested in triple the content and triple the exclusivity, then you'll be able to find all of that information down below in the description box, as well as all my personal information. Again, I really just want to hype you guys up and let you know that I love you. I'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank the universe, the cosmos, source, all of that ever-loving goodness that is within and among all of us. And of course, I would like to thank all of our angel spirits, guides, ancestors, and Melchizedek for coming through and channeling this message to and through me for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group number 1. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I will be channeling a message directly to you from Melchizedek, and you selected the first group with Lead by Example. As always, I like to share with you guys my process. When I channel, I always use the Akash Mudra. This connects and heightens the element of space in your body, and as a clear channel, it is important not only to do the internal energy work like we do, but the mudras also help in order to create a flow of energy. So you'll notice that I use these in all of my channeled messages. Now, Melchizedek would like to let you know, group number 1, yes, you selected the Lead by Example card, and yes, this is what you're being encouraged to do. Lead through love, express yourself, express your truth, and be honest, be pure, be you. Don't bend, don't fold for anything or anyone around you. Also, you're going to be experiencing some old faces with new energies on them, and before you say no, there's a reason for this. There are energies that are currently being cleared on behalf of the collective that have a lot to do with alchemy, magic, spirituality, inner truth, inner knowing, and connection to source, as well as, and I'm being asked to keep this vague, what is really out there. So with that being true, there is inevitably going to be a wave of, he's saying, peepers, okay? Those who kind of keep a little eye on you. And this is why, at the moment, you might feel called to share your process a bit more in order to show transparency, in order to perhaps let your personality shine, speak up a little bit, or share, just as I did with you in the beginning, the Akash Mudra, share your process of how you do what it is that you do. Now, if you are on YouTube watching a spiritualistic pick a card tarot reading, channeling Melchizedek, there is no doubt that you are somewhat, at the very least, interested in spirituality. So whatever this is for you, whether you pray or you meditate You do pranayama, you do yoga. Maybe you're an energy channeler, a reader yourself, a healer, a starseed, whoever, whatever, wherever your little beautiful angel, miraculous self is. There is something here about sharing the process that is important. With the lead by example card, you are being told at this time you're going to be experiencing ample blessings, and you're not meant to use these to show off in a flashy way, but you are meant to use them to show them off. And the difference between the energy is not to show it off in a flashy way. It is not, look what I have or look what I can do. But you are being encouraged to share the blessings that are coming with you, not to give them away, but to let it be seen, let it be known that you have consciousness. You have perhaps manifestation abilities. You have magic. You have leadership qualities. You have perhaps the ability and the right to lead by example. Melchizedek coming through for you today, group number 1, is encouraging you to speak up and really communicate who, what, when, where, why, and how you are. There is an indication that you do have an example that others would do well by following. And it's not to say that it is not to take anything from the energetic sovereignty of each individual, but it is to say in all ways, shapes, and forms that everything is. Everything is energy, everything is connected to everything else. And outside of one, there is all. Outside of all, that in and of itself is a concept of one. Therefore, there is always, always larger. And so there's an energy of those around you, those who understand, and those also from the past, coming back around to see where are you now. For example, they're showing me perhaps somebody once saw you meditate. And this is an example. Take it as it pertains to you, please, group 1. If someone saw you meditate and they understood perhaps the gifts and abilities that you had, or they understood the amount of consciousness that you had, or some of the belief systems that you were practicing in your daily life, perhaps silently, as you're being encouraged to speak up in this reading. Perhaps, without your knowing, this energy has been meditating on their own. They've been taking your example, and so now there almost is this energy of them checking back up to see if they've caught up with you. Although this is not a race and it is not a competition, and we do not encourage this in any way, there is an offering for you to be transparent, to show your cards. And this may be in a way where you haven't done this before, or it may also be in a way where you've been encouraged to keep something close to your chest for a long, long time. But whatever this is, it is now ready. Maybe for a small few, maybe for the masses. Again, this will be different for everyone since this is a general reading, but I know whoever's watching this, group number 1, you are a powerhouse, and you know it too. Therefore, the energies that come to you and they say, did you know that someday you could be a healer? This is the pile that looks right back and says, I'm glad that you said that to yourself. Beautiful soul, keep going. That is the energy. Being not only that which reverberates, but that which creates a difference. Without being in your masculine energy, still sending out an electric ripple effect. This is a slight polarization, but it's also a very specific energy. As we know, when you're electric, inherently this energy is masculine. When you're magnetic, inherently this energy is feminine. And of course, there's a right and left side to your lower body, so there's masculine and feminine attributes to each. However, to stay centered in your heart and to raise the vibration of that electricity to a feminine energy, hypothetically, and send out that ripple current. This is what Melchizedek is asking for you right now. To not just reverberate off of you, not just to magnetize, but to be aware that you are being given ample blessings. The universe is making an example out of you, and you are to use them to lead by example. This is a strong energy. Melchizedek wants to remind you that you know how strong of an alchemist that you are. So It is no longer time to play small. You might be aware of the fact that there are a lot of question marks around you at this time, surrounding you, from those you've known in the past, those that are watching you, and there's this desire to get to know you deeper, more deeply. And so Melchizedek is saying, instead of going one by one to each querent, each individual, allow yourself to speak your truth, put it out there, say, I said what I said, and move on. Group number 1, you seem as though you are the type to perhaps share a Reiki practice online instead of going to every single individual and giving them each Reiki. And this doesn't have to be Reiki either, of course. This seems like the type to do grid work, but be silent about it. You know the powerhouse that lies within, and Melchizedek wants to remind you that it may stress you out that you have not been finding others that resonate with you, but your intuition is telling you that you will. You're noticing that you're surrounded by others who still do not resonate with you, but it's closer, and you're also aware that you're not meant to settle for this, and you might be perhaps a bit confused as to who, what, when, where, why, and how these energies that genuinely resonate are going to be showing up. There will be expression of this, as we do have 3 swords cards out. This seems like it might be a core soul wound here. You may resonate with at some point in your incarnation journey being some sort of being that is unrelatable in some way, shape, or form, perhaps to the understanding of others today, perhaps during this life you felt misunderstood, or take it again how it resonates. This is a general reading, but you will know. Again, where attention goes, energy flows. So awareness to this energy, but letting it continue to move and flow so that you are allowing yourself to remind yourself, remember why you take action each moment. Maintain that integrity and maintain that intention. Melchizedek would like to let you know that there is material abundance coming your way, and this is being highlighted for a special reason, because your effort and your focus has nothing to do with the material realm. It has nothing to do with a particular timeline, finding a certain timeline, altering a certain timeline. But there is definitely an energy of looking in the mirror, knowing who's looking back at you, knowing what's looking back at you, and also identifying this throughout the entire universe. But not allowing yourself to get stuck, tied, or bound to a timeline or the illusion of timelines. Now, for some of you, this can be highly energetic, or you are learning how to polarize your masculine and feminine energies and draw them back to genuine, unconditional love. It is one thing to strive for. It is another thing to experience. It's another thing to meditate on, and it is yet another thing to embody as your core vibration. And so you have been working towards this, or you have been grounded in this for such a very long time, and it's beautiful. And here we see Melchizedek giving you a lot of confirmation, validation, and gratitude for this. You are aware that the majority of your journey is meant to be a solo one, and you're also aware of why this is. You are also aware of the fact that nothing is an accident, and you're able to pick up on the signs and synchronicities, if you'd like to call them that, from the universe with little to no effort at all. With this being the case, you are noticing that if you decide to be seen, you will be seen. If you decide to take a leadership role, you will be in a leadership role. If you decide to be loved, you will be loved. And if you decide that others can see your full spiritual truth, then they will. You might look around and not see necessarily the expression of this, the swords, that expression of this. But again, you are the one that decides whether or not this is true. You are also the one that is able to see exactly the fractal experiences that you wish to have in this life, and who has created the order that you are living things through in this order, specifically. As you allow yourself to continue to deep dive, continue to regress into other versions of yourself, open your eyes and see all of those versions of yourself walking around, responding to even minute shifts that might even occur in your subconscious, Melchizedek would like to remind you that In a lot of ways, you are a shepherd, and in a lot of ways, you are a child. Not a child human, but a child of the universe. You are also a shepherd of the universe. Connecting these two energies in love and gratitude, expanding upon this, walking in your path, and setting out a ripple effect is not only what you are meant to do, but what you are gifted at, what you are good at. And there are different levels of awareness, consciousness, intention, ability, exploration along the way. And you might notice that you match intention with others, but that they have not yet been able to dive to the depths that you've reached. You might notice that you'll have other people telling you that they dive to the depths, but you notice that this is not true. You are being welcomed and encouraged to call in those that can really, truly see the truth of your soul. Allow yourself transparency, for in a way, this is what you are craving, and this will open the door to the next grand chapter of your life. Melchizedek would like for you to be aware of the fact that there have been a lot of changes that have occurred within and around you, primarily changes that have perhaps occurred to your emotional state, your daily routine, your interactions with animals, or perhaps, for some of you, the way that you interact with your home. There is a hidden desire that has to do with your mindset, your philosophy, perhaps for some of you, travel, or with progression in any area of life that you feel you've been working towards and speaking up and doing the most, a part of you that feels like it wants to be expressed. And you've been noticing that little breadcrumbs, little tiny opportunities for this to become a possibility have been gently showing their way into your life. And as you meditate, as you go within, as you do this work, you continually understand why now, why not now, why, when, and you're also able to construct your own timeline instead of selecting the one that you would like. Because this is not goal-based. It is not goal-oriented. Hardly is it even intention-based. It purely is. Because of this, you are noticing a lot of shifts occurring in your luck that are beautiful, that are both sacral and expressive. You are being encouraged to have even more confidence in your faith and even more faith in your own sense of self. There is a reason why you are encoded with the memories of the universe that you are. And while you are not the only one with these memories, they are encoded within you for a reason. Your patterning is unique, and that is your energetic sovereignty. Do not, however, get so caught up in the individuality of yourself that you do not continue to expand. For any place that your soul has ever been is every place that every soul has ever been, because we are all one. You are aware of this. And this is also why it's important that you are transparent at this time. Because you are going to be gifted with ample opportunities, ample blessings, ample realizations. And you are being given an opportunity to pass the torch. We ask you to take this opportunity and take it eagerly. Because, as you are aware, everything in this realm is far more imaginary than once was initially taught to believe as a human child. This growth, this growing up, this maturation of your energy, of your soul, is precisely what allows you to genuinely become that child of the universe again. a rebirth within an incarnation, if you will. Continue leading by example. Turn your ferocity up a notch. Show them what you can do. And don't be afraid to state your facts. You are aware that everything outside of you is not only a reflection of what's within you, but a reflection of all that is. And any distortion and the difference between those two things also lies within. This is not something that is new to you, but is something that will continue to unfold over time. There is always further to expand. And you may notice that right now, you are coming out of a feeling of being alone. You may notice that right now, you might feel as though it is easier for you to do more. But then you are spending more energy. You are at a place where right now you are using alchemy to turn one element into another. Water into fire. Water into earth. Allow yourself to explore true alchemy. And do not be afraid to use this world as the playground that it is. Of course, only as you allow the divine to work through you. As anything other than that is accumulation, distortion, projection. You will continue to grow and evolve and expand, and never be hard on yourself for where you currently are. But also, continue to stand firm at this time. The universe will be showering you with blessings unseen to you before in this lifetime. So, as this occurs, bask in the sun and do not hide these blessings from the public, from those around you. Do not give them away, but do share them. Share how you earned them, share how you feel, share who you are, and share the result. Because you are a living example of divine incarnate. And you, allowing yourself to express these truths, healing exists, light exists, you are all is you. These will be highly activating for those around you, as they will have their own journeys to expand, to understand, to evolve. But as you portray transparent truth, everything will shift in your favor. The things that are hit with the vibration of truth will expand, contemplate, and remember. As they remember, they will awaken. As they awaken, they will enlighten. And as they enlighten, they will look to you, just as you have looked to those before you. This is why, in order to teach, you must be a student. Always just be who, what, when, where, why, and how you are. And yes, the best version of that. Group number 1, thank you so much for being here. That was your channeled message from Melchizedek. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Please like this video and comment how it made you feel in the description box. It helps me out a lot, and it helps other people to see the messages that might resonate for them. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you feel called, if you want to see more of content like this, and I'm sending you all the love, light, and gratitude in all the universes. I'll see you next time. and namaste. Hi there, group number 2. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at a channeled message from Melchizedek, and you selected the second group with calling and manifestations. Today, Melchizedek would like to let you know, first and foremost, that there are a lot of blessings, a lot of your manifestations, a lot of your previously set intentions that are kind of hitting the tail end of the process of the learning of the quantum shift of the cycle before you hit these. And this is going to be beautiful. With calling in, this does indicate that you are in right now a bit of a magnetic state, which is beautiful, but I'm also getting that your energy itself, inside and out, is so beautifully pure that all of the manifestations that are coming in are beautiful. They align with you and they're very radiant. They radiate love and intention. There is an indication that all of these small details will be precisely the way that you have ordered them too, which is not a message that comes out all the time. Oftentimes we will hear in the manifestation law of attraction community, if you attract something and it's not exactly what you ordered, you send it back and you can get what you ordered. But this is also letting me know that exactly what you ordered, the little extra list, those small details that you asked for from the universe that you've been waiting for, those are what's coming in right now. This message is coming to you from Melchizedek because he would like to let you know that your manifestation abilities have been heightening. And there's also an indication here. He would like to let you know that your manifestations and the timing of these manifestations can be found within your body. You can also understand why certain things arrive, why they arrive, how they do when they arrive, also why they don't arrive, or why they wait, or why they might be in a little bit of a different energy. For example, say that you are calling in a best friend, and you have a great friend coming in, but you also feel that you have a little bit of tension in your left rotator cuff, okay, in your shoulder. And this will also, in a way, let you know that if you look at this energy and you alchemize it with that left rotator cuff, you'll be able to find that perhaps the way that the energy was coming in might indicate that there's a little bit of tension or a little bit of clenching energy when it pertains to receiving that heart chakra love, or receiving that communication, or receiving that gratitude towards you. These energies will be reflected within your body as well. Not just in your aura, not just in your internal state, which, yes, this is true, but mind, body, spirit. Melchizedek wants you to look at the way that your body is letting you know about your manifestations, about their possibility, about their timing, about their likelihood, and about the manner with which they are coming in. Now, some of you are already well aware of this, and you're being encouraged to take another look, which will be something that is quite fascinating for you. There is a large indication that there will be a celebration around you as well very soon, and Melchizedek wants to leave a lot of this as a surprise, but does want to confirm some of the messages that you've been hearing lately. Now, as a master manifestor, as a master intender, as one in divine union consciousness, super consciousness, union consciousness, unity consciousness, or higher, Melchizedek would like to honor you and let you know that you are very well aware of some of the permanent changes that you have made to yourself and to your life, and would like to let you know that this was not on accident either. This is on purpose. They're showing me when you open up, I'm just going to use the Matrix example, okay? If you select the red pill, you already know where the end of that road leads, and you will do it again and again and again. And you already know that it's not what you desire. But that permanent change, the one that's a little bit scary because you can't look back and undo it, that one, that is the blue pill. That is exactly the reason why some of these permanent changes have been made in your life, why you've made some of these permanent changes in your life. And never underestimate how intentional your path that you've been on is in the eyes of the universe and of your truest, deepest inner soul, inner self. There are a lot of energies around you right now that are encouraging you to keep moving forward. And there's this energy of a bit of a flurry about if only you had a little bit more, perhaps time, perhaps energy, perhaps resources, perhaps support, perhaps whatever this is. And we have the Lovers. This choice to honor, perhaps organize with number 6 here, to honor the love, to intuit your way through it, to follow your intuition, to organize, to pull out that planner, whatever that 6, that Virgo, that mercurial answer is that has been leading you towards these big permanent choices, changes. It is blossoming for you, not only love and compassion, but unconditional love and fertility. So this is where we are calling in our manifestations, and you are being called back to the drawing board. And this is significant too. You are meant to move forward, but from the perspective of a blank slate. You might realize that you've had larger spiritual awakenings lately. You might notice that you are once more not aligned with what you worked so hard to align with, meaning you've outgrown it. The Tower moment is indicating that perhaps you wish to acclimate to some of your current surroundings, but also at the same time, perhaps you are not necessarily wanting that because it feels a little bit red pill-y to you. Now we do have the Hierophant, and then we have the 4 of Coins, King of Coins, and here's the 7 of Swords at the back of the deck, and I feel called towards what this card is that's popping out right here. 6 of Cups. Okay. What's this guy? The Moon and 7 of Coins. Look, we have 77, a 77 sandwich with emotional, intuitive, and veiled energies with 6 of Cups, okay? There is something that is, I'm hearing longing. There's some sort of longing that is within you that might be traced somewhere within your body that also might resonate with one of these manifestations that's coming in. If you notice that there is just a tweak in your shoulder that you've had for a million years and it's just not there anymore. Maybe it's been a few years, you've been working on it, you finally greased it up a little bit, got the little bits and pieces of tissue to disseminate and flow through your blood, and everything's nice and good and healthy, right? You might notice that that longing that was attached to that accumulation of energies is no longer there. But that feeling, that emotion, that pure drawing board, clean slate version of that energy may still be there, or it's time to reapproach it. This is what's coming back around. We do start with 2 major arcana cards in the past, and we do have we have a face card and a minor in the future here, which is kind of letting me know that you are right now in a place where you are aware that it's time for progression. You're aware that you're moving on, you're moving forward, you are expanding, and at the same time, you've recently experienced some sort of tower moment, probably internally, that allowed you to show up exactly the way that you've wanted to in order to fit the bill of who you've grown into being. And as soon as this occurred, you've already outgrown this place. So there's this question of continuing to show up, continuing to do the work, continuing to release. However, with the 4 of Coins, there is also an energy surrounding you of, but then was it all for nothing? Or is this really truly my path? Or there are so many things going on? Or am I overlooking something? And the King of Coins is saying, continue showing up. We do have Virgo coming out in the beginning, okay? And a little bit of this energy in the center here, okay, we have 18, 9, and 6. This is balancing the energies of what makes you feel free, what is investment towards your future, and how you can also stay organized, how you can stay put together, how you can be showing up every single day, doing the things you need to do, your daily responsibilities, and staying in the present moment. As well as with the Moon and the 6 of Cups here, following your intuition, doing that spiritual work, putting that first, making that your priority. But also drawing into the awareness that once something is set in motion, it will come to fruition. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes adjustments. Sometimes it takes little alterations and grander expansions of possibility, potentiality, the way that things can come in, understandings of our fragmented universe, things like this. But Melchizedek wants you to know, group number 2, that you have that faith. Look at the 7 of Swords aligning here with the crown chakra. And the Moon, you don't see it. 6 of Cups, you've wanted it for a long time. It's a long-held dream. It's held within your inner child in a past life. It's something that resonates with you. You feel it deeply. 7 of Coins, that foundation. 7 of Swords, is it there? Melchizedek wants to remind you that once something is set in motion, it will continue. It must come to fruition. Everything that has a beginning must have an end. Everything that is spoken must come to fruition. And again, it might be immediate, it might not be. But you are stepping into an energy where all that is around you, all that was once withheld, is about to be flowing into your life very rhythmically, very spontaneously, and in a very large way. Which is why at this time, even though you may feel that you have outgrown perhaps certain practices, certain understandings, certain groups, or whatever, you are being asked to almost do both your past and future self a solid by honoring where you've been, where you're going, where you are right now, and not to overthink, not to put too much into it. And as an alchemist, this might feel a little bit overexerted or underexerted, because that central energy, it's going to go back to always being ready, willing, and able to have that tower moment, honor it when it's time, and allow yourself to understand that it's always in your highest interest to continue to devote and dedicate yourself to the contracts that you have made spiritually and physically. And also to know that when you set something into play, it will and must come into fruition at some point. This is this Four of Coins energy. A lot of times this indicates overlooking a blessing in front of your face, but it can also indicate accumulation. For example, if you manifest something different every single day for a year, now the first thing might take 3 weeks or 3 years of a lesson to come into fruition. But the universe will provide for you all of the things that you want, primarily if it aligns with your heart, your soul, your intuition, if it honors that divine being within you, that cosmic consciousness. So, with the King of Coins, you are to continue to believe that what you've manifested is coming into fruition, but not only is it appearing before your face, not only are you doing the work, this is trusting that there is no more that you need to do. There's nothing more that needs to be done except for you honoring where you've put yourself. And trusting that those tiny little shifts and maneuvers that you are inclined towards, working towards at your own pace, that is literally all that is asked of you. And the only one asking that of you is you. Allow yourself to be reminded that self-love is humanitarian love. Because in the perspective of cosmic consciousness, you are able to understand that your body is a reflection of the universe. Therefore, when your body shows you the way that you feel, when you notice that you have a specific ailment in your body, or flexibility, or a strong point, or a tight point, these are all ways where you can, sure, resonate with this, the zodiac sign, or the chakra, or the meridian, or any information, mind, body, spirit that will resonate with this, but your body reflects the universe. Your body reflects your universe. And drawing your attention, pratyahara, drawing your life force energy away from these senses will allow you to explore what is further and beyond this. And with that, when you zoom into this body and you feel a little bit of tightness here or there, allow yourself to remove your will from that place and trust that it will continue to flow. Trust that you have accumulated what it is that you desire. And also, Melchizedek would like to remind you that the very opening message here is that you have done this work. Your manifestations are appearing before you. You are magnetizing them. There is nothing more you need to do. You do not even need to surrender. All you need to do is be open, willing, and receptive. There's a bit of this energy here about, I'm hearing something slipping through your fingers, perhaps, or about something coming in after you don't want it anymore, or perhaps something coming in not in the way that you manifested it. And Melchizedek is saying, why put these limitations on yourself? You might look at the past and look at the future, and your brain might get confused. You might want to think, overanalyze. Remind yourself you are neither your body nor your mind. And your mind is less a tool than it is a distraction. And so always keep that in mind. When you are open and you have understanding, you have all of the knowledge that you need under that. But looking around for all of the knowledge possible does not constitute understanding. So, this is where you are neither your body nor your mind. And The mind is less of a tool and a resource than one may have been taught to believe initially. Keep that in mind. Your mind does create your reality, but it is really less your mind. It is truly your consciousness. So allow yourself to use that consciousness, use that divine will to see where your energy is leaning towards in flexibility, in tightness, in little hiccups, in cracks and creaks, in little waves throughout your physical body. And instead of overanalyzing it, instead of telling yourself this and this and this and this, connect the dots and weaving them together, allow yourself to not need to do the work that you've already done to show yourself that you have this manifestation within your body, and all you need to do is remove focus from it and allow it to relax, receive, to be. Messages please to group number 2 from Melchizedek. There's a lot of focus on the future here. A lot of focus on the future. In fact, there's this stress about the past, like how you got yourself to where you are and how you can utilize that in order to get yourself to where you want to be. And that past moment is not where you are right now. The rules shift and change every moment, every universe, every galaxy, every timeline, every moment. Melchizedek would like to remind you that if something worked for you before, it doesn't mean that it will not work for you again, but your energy is not the same. You are not in that same time or space as you were, therefore the same rules do not apply. Always allow yourself to ebb and flow and change and shift. Every day you show up on your yoga mat or in the gym or to stretch or to meditate, every day is a little bit different, even though the thing in common is you. We do see an indication here of you trying to perhaps give yourself more rational clarity, and this is where that spiritual work comes into play. This is why this must be the priority. There's so many different ways that you have in order to do this, and so many large inspirational realizations that are right on the tip of your tongue, right at the forefront, right at the surface there. So allow yourself to dive a little bit deeper and trust that everything that you've manifested will be setting into fruition. And don't just start now. Understand that as far back as you can remember, everything that you've manifested must come into fruition. With that being said, as you shift, things might come in differently than you expected, as they often do. They might come in bigger or smaller or different shaped or sized than you may have intended or visualized. And there's a reason for this too, because every single thing that you manifest must come into fruition. But you are not that exact being who snapped your fingers and wanted something in front of your face in that moment. Because of this, you are more aware now of your true spiritual capacity, and that it has nothing to do with manifesting in the physical realm. Although this is a symptom of consciousness, it is not the goal. In fact, it is not a superpower. Melchizedek would like to remind you that you have many, many different skills and gifts and abilities, and that you have the ability to utilize all of them with enough time and space and attention and love and energy and resources that you desire. Allow life to be slow and simple and sweet. That is all that it needs to be. And prioritizing your spiritual self, as well as letting it be slow and sweet and enjoyable, will let you get more done, although that should not be the intention. Will let you connect more with more things, although that is not the intention. Will let you strengthen and expand and explore your future in a more enjoyable way, although that is not the intention either. This is why Melchizedek would like to remind you that right now your job is to do nothing but honor what you told yourself you would do today, this moment, this minute. And that's not running around. It's not rushing around. It is taking 5 minutes or an hour or 2 hours of meditation. It is journaling that question. It is reading that book. These are the priorities that constitute advancement in the spiritual and the physical realm. Whereas making an accumulation of money and putting it aside will gain you half of one of these many things. So, Melchizedek would like to confirm that you are about to be experiencing a grand awakening. And you may feel inclined to spread this like wildfire. This is a beautiful sentiment, although it is not required of you. Do not forget that you cannot do the work for anything or anyone else. And that truth evolves and expands into one common understanding the further that you explore. And this is where we're able to see who resonates with us when, where, and why. Now that, juxtaposed to everything that you have set into fruition must manifest. This is the duality, the paradox you are currently working through. And Melchizedek wants to remind you that you have received all of the information, all of the knowledge you could ever possibly need in order for you to continue to grow. But as you grow, you must not stunt your growth for the rest of the plants around you. You must not slow your growth for the rest of the plants around you. You must not feel bad for growing taller, because when you are at that taller vantage point, you will be able to see the other plants that are even taller than you. You will also be able to show others that they can grow to that point as well. Everything is relative, and everything is divine. So, there is an element of community that perhaps you have been feeling coming in and out of your life, but has not necessarily grounded in the way that you would have hoped. Perhaps you are noticing communities coming in and moving and fleeting, and just kind of you're ebbing and flowing through them as you outgrow them, or as you resonate and then don't, and then do and then don't, and we have this DNA strand shape coming out. Group 2, you are a very powerful alchemist, and while you are aware of this, you are still unaware of the true depths, and do not click off. Do not disagree with that statement. Do not limit yourself. Because the truth here is that all that you have manifested will come into fruition, and that your mind is not who or what you are. So, when you are divine, when you are realizing the self, and when you allow that to expand, when you allow yourself to explore that, to really truly embody that, the truth is, luck will never not be on your side. As long as you are on your own side, so will the rest of the universe. So, in a very, very minute way, pull out that journal. Take a look at your body. Do that exploration. Focus on that breath work. Because these, again, are not the end goal. This is not the truth. These are ways that calibrate you into your truth, which is always ever evolving and expanding, getting better, getting more beautiful every day. You will be awakening to what is truly possible for you, and it will be larger than you once presumed, and you are already aware that you have a hefty amount of gift, ability, skill, beauty, blessing, universal consciousness, all of these beautiful divine spiritual energies within you. You already know this. This is no stranger to you. And so if you look at that as just the beginning, if you look at all of that as one particle of a multi-universal consciousness system, imagine how much better it can get. Refuse to limit yourself. Love deeply and unconditionally, as always. And trust that maybe, just maybe, things are coming in sooner, better, bigger, faster, and more divine than you ever could have realized. And take into consideration that those things you once wanted so bad, perhaps you were supposed to want them. And perhaps the reason that they haven't shown up yet is because you're still understanding truly why it is you want them. So we'll leave you with that today. There is one more message that wants to come out. I really want to reiterate, okay? Prioritize your spiritual practice. They're showing me Hierophant and the Fool. Your faith practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's yoga, whether it's prayer, whether it's Tai Chi, I almost said Chai Tea, oh my gosh, whether it's Tai Chi or Qigong, or whether it is journaling, whatever your spiritual practice is, but it's an internal spiritual practice, prioritize this. You may feel at first that it takes time, but the truth is that it makes time. Because just like any artist, you must come back to the drawing board. You must put your brush back in the paint. You must come back to center. And this is what gives you alchemical ability. And that center is infinite. So, the miracle of it being contained within your body, within your vessel, that is the biggest tool, gift, and resource that you have. So allow yourself to let that be the result instead of the extenuating circumstance. Pratyahara is coming up again. Allow yourself to have your baseline within, in the divine, in the miraculous, in the eternal. This is your center. This is your truth. Now come back into your body, into your skin, and feel the little hiccups, feel the little tingles, feel the little twings and the little itches, and bring that clarity forward with you in your life. Again, it does not take time, it makes time. Your truth is that everything is conspiring in your favor all of the time, and that everything is possible that you believe is possible. So, without limiting yourself, and without trying to figure it out, do nothing. Not saying neglect your responsibilities or not to take care of yourself. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Trust that there is nothing more that needs to be done, because everything has already been set into play. So instead of accumulation manifesting out of lack, allow yourself to receive all that you've already manifested and trust that past you is taking care of you today. Trust that eternal, infinite, divine, universal you has taken care of you today. And that will also take care of you tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. Because what is a lifetime in perspective of the infinite? You are cared for. Melchizedek would like to remind you that you have the ability to wield gold out of iron, to create a sword using fire and liquid metal. Melchizedek would like to remind you that you can create anything that you so choose. So, do you trust where you've already been to take care of where you're going? Do you trust the past efforts that you've already made to sustain you moving into the future? What if, for this moment right now, you tapped in with your spiritual self, your inner alchemist, your inner mage, your inner magician, and instead of shifting and moving everything around and trying to resonate with that version of you feel like you are supposed to be in right now, what if instead you have deeper faith and you take that moment to enjoy your inner world instead of running around cleaning it up, trying to shift it, trying to heal it? Because in reality, all you need to do is remove your focus from certain areas, divert your attention to certain areas, add love and space in the areas that need love and space, And that's it. Because never were you wounded, never were you broken. Always were you divine. Dive deeply within, fearlessly, and see what's truly there. Oftentimes, it is the fear of deep diving that is the wound, that is the pain, or the perceived wound or pain. When in reality, the thing that you might be feeling is that pain, is that wound, is actually more beautiful than you think it is, in a universal sense. So fearlessly, lovingly, gently, and authentically, trust that past you and infinite you have already taken care of you today, and that you honoring that is what takes care of you tomorrow. That's all we have for you today, group number 2. I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. This is your channeled message from Melchizedek, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps me out a lot, and I love what I do. It also helps other people who might need this message and not have other places to find it, to find this and connect energetically. Also, if you would like more content like this, you can check out my YouTube join page, my little inner circle, for more pick a card readings every Wednesday, and my Patreon for more pick a card readings every Thursday, both of which are below in the description box. Again, thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you all my love, light, and gratitude. I'll see you next time, and namaste. Hi there, group 3, namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I am channeling you a message from Melchizedek, and you selected the 3rd group with the Lotus Feet card. The first message that wants to come through for you today, group number 3, is that there are certain realizations and expansions that are occurring for you, in which you are putting pieces together of the puzzle that you have already received in the past, but perhaps you were not aware where they were meant to be located. They're showing me the way that I personally put together puzzles is first I will fill in the outsides first, like all the edges, and then I will organize them. Say there's clouds, I'll put all the cloud pieces over here. If there's flowers, I'll put all the flower pieces over here, and so on and so forth. And they're showing me that perhaps you had like a pile of cloud pieces, but you know that they are spread all around the puzzle. They don't just all belong together in one place. You still have to figure out where they go. And so they're showing me that there are some very close to home special puzzle pieces that you are being shown. Now they're showing me like when you pick puzzle pieces out of a box and there's like 3 or 4 of them that are already put together for you. They're showing me that there's something like this that you recently stumbled upon or you are about to be stumbling upon. Now the Lotus Feet card indicates an ascended master. It indicates a master of the craft. It indicates a guru, an enlightened being. The reason for this is because the crown chakra, Sahasrara, the 1,000-petaled lotus, this is 963 hertz, the divine frequency, the note of B. However, Lotus Feet, it is said that when one's grounded vessel is tuned to the divine frequency, when they're in that cosmic consciousness, higher than super consciousness, higher than Christ consciousness or Krishna consciousness or unity consciousness or union consciousness, whatever you would like to call that phase, when you are in cosmic consciousness, this is when you become Lotus Feet. This is where you hear that phrase in perhaps Tibetan Buddhism or Jainism or Taoism or Hinduism or yoga, where you will hear the lotus feet of the master, or I placed lotuses at the feet of my master, honoring, adoring the feet. And this is part of the reason why this is so significant. We do also have a slight nudge towards Piscean energy, since Pisces does rule the feet. And here we have symbology coming out, such as the fish. They're showing me the Jesus fish. The lotus feet, they're showing me with Pisces, this is the subconscious. This is the closing out of a cycle. This is death and rebirth. This is not just scorpionic, but it is evolution. It is after you complete the physical cycle, you complete the spiritual work on the other side, and there is that full reincarnation type rebirth that is going on. It's the rebirth, not just the death and the birth that comes from the death. It is the rebirth that comes from after that process of being dead, of having been brought into the shadows. Melchizedek would like to draw your attention to 10, 11, 12. Do keep an eye out for these numbers or repeating sequences of these numbers: 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, so on and so forth, 3, 13 even. However, Melchizedek would also like to let you know that there are some things that have been making perfect sense and also allowing you to understand where and why time, space, and patience were needed. This is the context behind divine timing, not just hearing that divine timing exists, or that you must wait for it, or that you must have patience. This is the understanding of why. And with all of that context also comes a shift, divine change, a difference in expression, a difference in the way that you are encountering yourself, encountering the world, and there's almost an allusion to this imagery here. They're showing me putting these pieces of the puzzle together, and actually, you know how there's a silver lining in clouds when the sun shines out from behind them? They're showing me that the actual lines between the intersection of all the puzzle pieces makes its own image too. And so, you are not only showing yourself what this full puzzle looks like, but you're also showing yourself messages that are encoded within it. The reason why certain pieces are put together, not just because that is how the puzzle looks, but because there is a puzzle within the puzzle, a message behind the message, truth behind the truth, always more infinitely unfolding, like a lotus. And so they're also drawing attention to the fingers and the toes. So with this, a little bit of practice for your dexterity may be helpful for you at this part of your spiritual journey. Take it however it resonates. They're also showing me a jellyfish, which also can be known as a symbolism of death and rebirth, and sometimes eternal life, consciousness. As you know, it is important to be just as enlightened as it is grounded, and the further that you evolve on your spiritual journey, the less of a difference there is between these two energies. You are no longer pinging between one or the other. In fact, this duality rarely exists, if at all, for you, Group 3. Melchizedek would like to welcome you into the spatial realm, into the causal realm, and would like to encourage you to keep a dream journal at this time. There are a lot of new experiences, perhaps realms, perhaps memories, that you're going to be naturally experiencing. And because of the flow, Pisces, the flow behind these energies, it will be unfolding exponentially. It will make perfect sense, and it will come easily. Allow yourself to merely observe and witness what you are experiencing at this time, because the more that you try to hold on to one, the more you zoom in and lose sight of the full picture. There's almost this energy of fixating upon one point, and that point being light, that point being consciousness, that point being source, perhaps a lotus, perhaps a point on the wall. I'm hearing drishti as well. Focusing on one point, but allowing your peripherals to open, allowing yourself to see through and beyond and around and within, not just focusing on one point. Diana. So, this is off of your first oracle card, messages from Melchizedek. So let's get into your tarot and see messages, please, to group number 3 from Melchizedek. Melchizedek feels, in this group specifically, is showing himself to me as a golden, violet, and blue crystalline healing liquid light. And so for some of you, this is significant. Melchizedek feels as though he has been a guide on your spirit team, specifically group number 3, for a while. Primarily when it comes to helping you perhaps alchemize, manifest, there are perhaps some things that Melchizedek, the energy of Melchizedek, has assisted you in perhaps maneuvering away from some things that you did not truly want, that you may have been manifesting out of illusion otherwise. Also, in bringing some things in that may have seemed miraculous or nearly impossible. And I'm hearing that song from Cinderella, the musical, the original Rodgers and Hammerstein, not the original, but the musical, where it's impossible, things are happening every day. And I'm also hearing the song Harvest Moon by Neil Young, so that can be significant for you too. You are definitely a master of all of the elements, all of the realms, all of the chakras, all of the zodiac signs, all of the areas of life. There is not one energy in this experiential realm that you have not mastered. And so there is a focus being brought back to the heart. And with this, you are noticing a grand release of energies that is unfolding, expanding as they do. And also, we do have a very strong Piscean but Neptunian energy coming out here with all the water. So Neptune, Poseidon, they're showing me Poseidon and Medusa. So I will drop that, take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But there is this energy of a liquid release. There is an energy of a heart release. There's an energy of a process coming to a final close. A final close. And because of this, Melchizedek would like to remind you that your dearest wish is about to be granted, and this is not because you have worked for it. It is not because you have worked so hard at identifying the puzzle pieces or putting them together. It is merely because once you put the puzzle together and you step away, you can still turn around and have an entire world out there to experience. And so they're showing me you might have very strong clairvoyance, group number 3, because this is how Melchizedek is showing most of the messages to me in this pile specifically. Showing me you sitting down working on a puzzle and somebody approaching you from behind. You not noticing, perhaps because you are so focused on this puzzle. And when you turn around, I'm hearing someone say, "Oh, it's you." So, we do have 11 with the star card coming out. Here's your 1111, which we asked to look out for in the beginning. We also have number 16, which is a 7 of the Tower card here, indicating that there is a large awakening and ascension process. Look, we have the Wheel, the Tower, the Star, the World, the Hermit, Ace. All cards indicating endings, reincarnation, rebirth, closing out chapters, starting the wheel, the world spinning at the close of a chapter. The Wheel indicating forward movement. The Tower indicating the wheel running over the heart, recycling, opening the energies, creating a tower because the wheel is spinning so fast that nothing is standing in its path. But it's luck, it's love, it's beauty, it's releasal. And so, with the World closing out this final chapter, or closing out this chapter once and for all, you have the Lotus feet card with the King of Coins and the Hermit with the Ace of Cups creating a grand trine, indicating that, first and foremost, sacred geometry may be highly significant for you, Group 3, or you might be interested in scrying upon it or meditating with the Metatron's Cube at this time, or the Tree of Life, whatever calls to you at this moment. But your physical world has been shifting, almost behind closed doors, and also right in front of your face, because you have been walking that seam line. You've been walking that bridge in between. You've been walking that double mission, that middle realm, that bridge energy. You've been working on transmuting the difference between grounded energy and enlightened energy. And with the Hermit, we have Virgo coming out with number 9, indicating the past and the future alchemizing due to the internal processes and work that you're doing at this time. Unbeknownst to you, although intentional by you, you have been doing the work, leading yourself down into the part of your life that you wish to be in. However, instead of identifying X marks the spot and taking a right on this street and a left down the street and forward so many paces, instead you followed the intuition. You followed the light. You walked both realms at the same time, leaving one never unbalanced by the other. And because of this grand trine energy is going to be awakening and expanding you internally and externally. This lotus feet, this culmination of divine energy in the grounded realm. The divine frequency, well, that's where your feet are at, group number 3. They're showing me Hermes, also known as Thoth, also known as Mercury, and we do have a lot of mercurial energy coming out here, specifically with the Hermit, where you are a messenger, you are an angel, you are allowing yourself to be who, what, when, where, why, and how you always have been, almost regardless of this material realm. And simultaneously, you are allowing yourself to expand and exist within this material realm, honestly, earnestly, peacefully, amidst that internal truth, amidst all the beauty, all the magic, all the realm walking, all of the wonder. So Melchizedek would like to remind you that there is a purpose to all of this, and it lies in the star card. Your connection with others, or your connection with a specific individual, your connection with the divine, your connection with yourself. None of which are different from any of the other. Although in this realm, create many different spokes with which can create their own wheel. You've closed out a particular chapter in life, and it's time that you intuit yourself into the next part of your journey. You may have recently stepped through some sort of portal, ascension, awakening, or just, they're showing me like a timeline shift or a quantum shift or stepping through. They're showing me an oracle's pool or something like this. There is something that has been very significant for you that you have either realized, are realizing, or will soon realize, that is going to allow you to understand how what you have been cultivating all along has been growing right behind your back while you were putting together those puzzle pieces. Melchizedek would like, when you turn around, for you not to react and to try hardly even to respond. Primarily because what you realize or see may be a bit of a shock for you, in a positive way, but a shock nonetheless. What you experience may be infinitely blissful, and if you ride a roller coaster up, it must fall back down. So, this is where we draw the energy back to the heart portal. Unconditional love, gratitude as always, but also that balance between high and low, between yin and yang, between light and dark, merely is. And this is where we come back to being an observer of your experience, being a witness of your experience. Yes, a powerful alchemist who has mastered energies time and time again, reapproaching every energy as it comes back around and knowing exactly what to do with it, where to put it, why it is where it is, understanding that you've put the puzzle piece together, you have the full picture, you see and understand the encrypted message in between, and now you're turning around. And you're seeing the world through the lenses of having completed this puzzle. It is no longer a kaleidoscope, it is now clear as day. And not only is it clear as day, but it is now entirely your oyster. It is now open world. Melchizedek would like to let you know, group number 3, that your light is sacred. I'm hearing the song Bendita tu Luz by Mana. Your light is sacred. You are sacred. This next chapter of your life is sacred. Every chapter that came before was sacred, but this one, specifically. You will know it is sacred. It will feel sacred in the moment. You will understand why it is sacred. It merely is. There is no puzzle piece left behind, no piece left unseen, no corner left unraveled, no corner left unexplored. And because of this fullness, you will be experiencing fullness. Melchizedek does have a couple more messages in here for you, group number 3, indicating that when you choose to follow your heart, it will be safe. And he's showing me the lilies actually on this Ace of Cups card, which are also an indication of death and rebirth of Easter. Springtime, birth, new life, everlasting life. And remind yourself that the point between the eyebrows is as much of a portal as the heart, which is as much of a portal as your dream state, which is as much of a portal as your physical body, which is as much of a portal as putting 2 mirrors facing each other. There is nothing in existence that is not, there's nothing in existence that is any more or less magical than anything else, regardless of the perception. In fact, the difference in perception is just as magical as any fairy tale you could possibly imagine. Melchizedek is welcoming and gently challenging you to open up to the possibilities that certain pieces of the puzzle do go where you have placed them, where you have figured out that they go. And that not only is that okay, not only is it natural, but that the entire universe and yourself conspired for it to be this way, for you to understand this now, for you to understand this how you have, and for you to grow, learn, evolve, mature, ascend, as much as you have and as much as you will, on your particular, I say relatively, timeline. Okay, group number 3, that was your channeled message from Melchizedek. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. If you would like to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot, and it helps other people find these messages when it is time for them to find them as well. And as I post every Tuesday on YouTube, I also post full pick-a-cards exclusively on my Inner Circle channel on YouTube if you go to my profile and you click join next to subscribe. And I also post exclusive pick-a-card readings every Thursday on my Patreon. If you would like a personal reading, a Reiki session, crystals, books, journals, any of the beautiful things that I do and art that I create and ways to connect, you can find all of that information in the links in the description box below. I'm so extraordinarily, infinitely grateful for all of you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful, miraculous realm. As always, I'm sending you all my love, light, and gratitude, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.